on Mother's Day, and he was told, hey, I had to make a deal to even get playing time on the weekends, and now he's going to be on the main stage.
I also, going back to Mega real quick, because he had one of the most memorable moments from yesterday's games when he was playing with Dubs, where he actually eliminated Mitro and Mongrel, one of the biggest duos in Fortnite in EU, and that was crazy to be able to do it with that mechanical skill, that speed that he did it at.
And he barely even reacted. Now, one player, normally, Bala, you and I are very good about going through, breaking these down, knowing their stories. I know very little about Pizzas. It's so hard to find information on. We got to go through the VOD reviews, but he is somebody in one of the few true wild cards, and I'm very interested to see what happens when you run into him. And now we're going to actually get a chance to talk with Zate, who we saw him and Saf have an amazing performance yesterday. Let's see what he's feeling ahead of the competition. Jordan, what do you have for us?
You are not wrong, Sundown. One of the best and most dominant duo players standing right next to me in Zate. Zate, you dominated yesterday. It's very clear to absolutely everybody, claiming that #1 slot for 5 of the 6 games. Obviously, it's Fortnite, RNG happens, right? But again, going into in-game, you two staying together, locking down high ground, that's ultimately what secured the dub. What was your mentality going into duos yesterday?
So we kept the same mentality, same strategies for every single game. After the 3 games, the 3 first games, we had 38 points, so we're really confident. So we didn't change anything. A lot of unfortunate things happened, so we finished with 6 points in the last 3 games and we got 4th. After being first for 5 games in a row, we really want to win it, so it felt kind of bad, but still.
Understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, though, Fortnite, this is the biggest payouts, right? Like, we're seeing some amazing payouts here. 4th place is still very much a win, I would think, to a lot of people. Now, going into the solos tournaments today, obviously you've been performing very consistently over the course of the last year of Fortnite comps. You're faced up against a lot of incredibly talented players from regions all over the world, and there's a lot of different play styles here. What's your mentality going into some of these fights?
For solos, I'm going to play like I've been playing for the past year. I'm just going to be confident because I play best when I'm confident.
Absolutely. Well, we see this confidence. We're going to see it again today on Real Island. What do you have next for us?
Thank you so much, Jordan. And what's surprising to me there is Zate. I mean, it's not surprising at all, actually. He's a true competitor. He placed in 4th place yesterday, and he's very disappointed about that. You can see it on his face.
Definitely felt it wasn't good enough. He said, hey, we wanted it all. We wanted the top spot. With Zate, we've seen it in the past. That means he's going forward. But now on to our next group, because these competitors are here to also challenge for the top spot. We have Link, Peter Pan, Letchi, Yarkos, Klusha, Mr. Savage, Snazy, Smeeth, Blaster, and Issa.
Yeah, the beginning of this group that you mentioned, Letchi, one of the most amazing controller players I've ever seen out of Germany, and he was so methodical and so good at the end game. It was unbelievable. The tunneling skills and able to be so aware. I can't be more impressed by Letchi.
Yes, and even in the qualification round, he said, hey, I got the spot. He was almost the first controller qualifier to get in, missed it by 1 place, and that next week when he came back to back solo trap eliminations to just flex on the entirety of Europe. Also rounding out the group, somebody we saw yesterday was Klusha. He's going to have the time to be on the stage, as well as Mr. Savage. They're there, but let's talk about the other controller player making his first trip over here. It is Ghost Issa, the original controller gang, and we had a chance to talk with him ahead of the competition. Let's hear what he had to say.
So I qualified for solos in week 5. It's been 10 stressful weeks, a lot of ups and downs, but it's been pretty good. When I qualified, I was so happy. I had a rough 10 games. I think I played 5 games out and died like 4 times off spawn. So I was so happy when I qualified. I instantly called my mom and was like, hey, I qualified. I think it's nice that they open qualifiers. Literally everyone can qualify. You can be 13 and win millions of dollars. And just everyone is really chill. New York is way different. Like, even the air, everything is so much different. The traffic, but I love it. Meeting everyone has been the nicest part. My advice would be just keep grinding. That's how you get better. Watch better player play, like watch Mongrel's vaults, whatever, and just keep grinding. That's the only way you can make it.
what an incredible story coming out of Issa, looking to represent and looking to do as much damage as possible. You know he's here to take names. Now on to the next group, where you have a lot of what I would consider dark horse contenders, very talented players you don't hear enough about. It's Nyx, King, Clarity G, Astonish, Lunez, Jenkins, Batch, Pika, Storm, and Reverse 2K.
I just want to point out, Astonish's outfit is unbelievably incredible. He has slippers on that have claws on them.
No, those aren't slippers. He's in a full onesie and then has the jersey over it. You can check him out on Twitter, also known for one of the coolest fling knock plays we've ever seen, one of my favorite calls, but also have to talk about Nyx and King.
Yes.
They're both playing yesterday in the duels, didn't necessarily get the results they wanted, but they're both known as much stronger individual players. They play much better when they're able to go crazy and do the game plan that they want to do.
Yeah, and in the bottom right there, you see Storm, also known as 4DR Storm. He's one of the players who fully qualified for both solos and duos, and even with this duo partner, Epic Whale, later on. We do also have Reverse 2K on the bottom half of this group. He is on the floor with Jordan Fisher. What do you got?
Standing next to me is Reverse 2K, one of the most gifted mechanically in terms of his aim, his building sense, his speed. Everything about his gameplay is one that I love and look up to personally, and I think for a lot of people here as well. Now, you've already told us that you're dropping Pressure, which is where you dropped in your qualifying week, which is a very smart move, I think, in my opinion. Now, are you planning on keeping a strict rotation schedule? Are you going to be able to be flexible?
We're gonna be able to flex more. I know Ninja and I duo spot is Lagoon, so that's my hometown, so we might drop there.
Very comfortable there. Mat up really quickly with some wood right there, those mats. Now, another thing that I love about you, Reverse, you're so vocal and so positive in social media, and a lot of people are supporting you and loving you, very much behind you in this journey. How does it feel to have so much support from Fortnite fans and others that are watching your streams and so forth?
It feels amazing. This Fortnite game is definitely a mental game. If you lose your mind, you're going to lose the game, so a lot of sport helps.
Absolutely. Well, we love you, man. I'm excited to see you perform today. Bala, Sundown, who's next?
Thank you so much, Jordan. A lot of people from home rooting for Reverse 2K. He's made quite a fan base, and a lot of people supporting him. We're going to continue forward back in the stadium. We do have our next group, Hood J, Arius. We also have our one of Duo's champion from yesterday. It's Aqua, and then Martine, Irus, Robabs, Skylar, Kinstar, and Kinzel.
And we can't forget about Flexi and the X2 twins rounding out the group there, but all eyes are on Aqua, and deservedly so. Nyrox said yesterday, hey, we won because Aqua is a beast. Aqua in his interview said, we're just gonna win. And what did he say last night afterward? He's like, you know, might mess around and win solos as well. He is about it and he is that skilled. But another player who has that very similar attitude is Eros, somebody who is a controller player, swapped over from console to PC. And I had one fan particularly reach out. He's like, hey, I watch him all the time. He doesn't care about anyone else. Whoever is going, he is flying at them. He wants to be known as one of the most skilled players out there. And then you have to talk about Keenstar.
And at the bottom of that list there, we also have Flexi, who played yesterday in the duos competition. One of the actual fully qualified duos with his partner, Letwick, who's playing as well. He's just amazing. His qualifying run actually was one of the most mechanically skilled things I've ever seen, but also what a struggle it was. He had so many setbacks in that week that he qualified that I almost thought that he wasn't going to make it, and it was going to be one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen.
But he was able to clutch up in the end and get to his spot. You see plenty of French representation coming out there. Of course, Keenstar been around from the very beginning, able to compete on the stage as well. Robob's up there, and then we have to talk about the X2 twins. Jordan representing down south, known originally as one of the first veterans out there.
I think I'm definitely getting better with it with the more lands I do. It doesn't really sink in until you actually land here and you get here like, oh, I'm actually in New York. It is definitely a cool experience. I like to listen to music before I play and try and treat it as if I was at home just playing any other scrim. You've got to put work into it. Sometimes you might have to get a little bit lucky with like qualifying and stuff. Like that's a part of it, but you can create your own luck through grinding and just hard work. It's really cool meeting the people and like experiencing it with them and learning from each other. People that can keep their calm, they definitely come through.
Jordan going going to be doing everything he can to push forward and be at the top. And now we're into the qualifiers who qualified in the final week. The Week 9 ones, the last chance qualifiers, when everything was on the line, they made it here. It's Clipnote, Cosmic, Tuzi, Aspect, Hornet, Creo, Legedian, Harians, Evil Mare, and Arcram 1X.
Clipnote, one of the players out of Brazil who, you know, he was there every single week, just in the top 10, not quite reaching that final top 1 spot, which is how many spots are up per week for Brazil, but he finally did it in the final week. That shows he is clutch.
Yes, the Argentinian was all about it, and we have to talk about Aspect. Him and Ana were the original favorites going into the qualifiers, kind of slid off the pace a little bit, had to swap up their drop spot. In the final week, he rocketed up in the lead with 60 points, but the issue was he finished his games early. Everyone else had an extra half hour. He had to sit there watching the leaderboard for an hour, but when all was said and done, he got the final spot. He'll be playing on that stage, and he'll be looking to take everyone's walls.
That 17 elimination game to qualify was definitely memorable from Aspect, but Arcram 1X also had a memorable performance yesterday in the duo finals. We're going to go ahead and catch up with him on the floor.
Dominant performance from Arcram for sure. Standing next to me here, another one of the most talented. I mean, I say this over and over again. It's because I'm surrounded by the best Fortnite players literally in the entire world. Definitely one of them here, repping the NA West. Over there, a lot of psycho players. Now, Arcram, you qualified for the World Cup in the first week of duos and in the last week of solos. Your preparation for both of these things definitely is very different. How have you prepared in comparison to yesterday, claiming that 5th spot, which was unbelievable, guys? Preparing for solos today is very different. How have you strategized for this?
Well, I try to prepare my mentality a lot better than yesterday, and I know what it's going to be like going in today, other than like tomorrow, because yesterday was like my first time playing at a LAN. Yeah. So I know what I have to do, and I know what I'm going to do to try to win today.
Absolutely. Well, that composure is everything, right? I mean, that can really help you dominate in that way. Now, again, repping NA West out there in LA for me. Listen. Your qualification both in duos and solos, you're the only person from NA West that was able to do that. What do you have to say to the rest of the West?
I mean, like, if you guys get a brain on the West Coast, I mean, like, it'll be a lot easier, you know, but otherwise, yeah, that's all you gotta do.
We gotta get a brain. Okay, I'm gonna come to Arcram School. Back to you guys on Unreal Island.
Well, I might also go to Arcram School. That was definitely interesting there.
Could say Galaxy Brain there from Arcram, you know, just get a brain going on there, looking to represent. But now the final group of competitors, it will be Sosman, Moffat, Andretta, Crew, Light, Mongrel, MQ, Teak, Blacks, and Skite.
I like the little dab there from Blacks. Absolutely incredible. Again, remember, these are the guys who qualified in the final week. And I do have to point out, Andretta was one of the players who did so. What an amazing performance it was. One of the few players who was streaming his final week, and he did it in an amazing fashion.
Winning 3 out of his first 5 games. He actually took a moment after that on the stream, kind of, you could see him deep breath in, deep breath out, and kind of know he had it. He kept pushing forward. We got to see Crew yesterday, had some highlight reel plays, but wasn't quite able to push into the top 10. Going to want to do that today. But Bala, you know on this list who I want to talk about right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Let's hear it. What do you got for Mr. Mongrel himself?
Mongrel. What more? I mean, there's literally so much. I could talk about this guy forever. One of the most mechanically skilled players I have ever seen. So fast with his decisions, you really can't keep up. Sometimes I even have to watch him in slow motion because it's just so ridiculously fast.
And you could see his reactions on the camera, how much he cares, how much he is invested, how much he wants to be the best of the best, just as does Skite, the player from the stream, overcoming tendonitis in his wrist, qualifying through. We're going to throw it down to the floor with Jordan and a translator to catch up and hear what Skite has to say. Jordan, take it away.
Standing next to Skite here, dealing with tendonitis is a very, very big thing, especially ahead of a competition of this caliber. How have you prepared physically going into today?
Avec cours de cette nature, il y a beaucoup évidemment d'ambition et de comment est-ce que vous gérez un peu la situation?
Je m'entraîne et j'essaie de ne pas stresser et je reste concentré en jouant.
I train, I try not to be too stressed out and I just, you know, think about the game.
Understood, as you should. Now, you have a lot of LAN experience and a lot of success in online tournaments as well. Your preparation for today, knowing that you're going up against a bunch of the best players in the world, regions all over the world, how are you strategizing for solos today?
Tu es un des meilleurs joueurs du monde, tu as beaucoup d'expérience, etc. Mais en même temps, ça c'est une compétition nouvelle. Comment est-ce que tu t'es organisé pour la stratégie de cette Coupe du Monde?
J'essaie juste de jouer mon jeu et de ne pas stresser. Et j'essaie de m'adapter à la méta actuelle. Et voilà.
I try not to stress out, I try to sleep well, eat well, and I try to think how I'm going to really play the game.
Lovely, and that allows you composure, right? Then you can dominate. Love it, Skype. Back to you guys at Unreal Island.
Thank you so much, Jordan and Skype. Skype, originally known for his Winter Royale performance where he was top the qualifier, top the semifinal, and then top the final. It put him on the map, and now he's here competing on the main stage, which is set for everyone who is here. But all of you guys at home, make sure you're using Fortnite.com/watch. Go check the website out. It is a more kind of tailored viewing experience. There's the ability to unlock additional items in-game. And on top of that, for somebody who's super analytical, there's a map stream. There's an individual player stream. You want to see the spotlighted players, T-Fewer Dubs, they'll be on there. You want to see the best players from Asia, they'll be on there. Best players from Brazil, they'll be on there. Make sure you go and utilize this tool, whether you're trying to get better at Fortnite or just want to watch what you want to watch. We want to give you every possible potential way to increase your viewing experience, and let us know if there's anything else you want added in there. We're always looking to improve because we're lining in stats. We got the map. I mean, what more could you want as an analyst, Paula?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out when I get home. I'm going to go back and watch those because I need to see every little detail for some of these guys who are going to perform on this stage. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, and I can't wait to do that.
I mean, this is what is going to allow these guys to push up into the prizing. I mean, just look at some of those numbers. Of course, everyone who made it here, $50,000 going through. But once you push into that top group, you'll start seeing a little bit of a pay bump. But ultimately, at the top, it's about the $3 million. It's about being the best of the world and being crowned the world champion solo baller. This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about. We're moments away from getting inside the stage and getting ready to launch the Fortnite World Cup Solos competition.
100 of the best players, every single one is be here. Are you ready for the Fortnite World Cup Finals? Let's start the show!
What's up, Fortnite World Cup? How we feeling today? Come on. Let me see everybody's hands up. Come on. Put your hands up. just want to say thank you to Fortnite, thank you to Epic Games for having me out today. If you guys know this next song, let me hear you sing along. Let's go.
Lately, I've been thinking I want you to be happier. When the morning comes and we see what we've become. In the cold light of day, we're a flame in the wind of the fire that we begun. Every argument, every word we can't take back. Cause with all that has happened, I think that we both know the way that the story ends.
Sing it if you know it.
Then only for a minute, I want to change my mind. Cause this just don't feel right to me. I want to raise your spirits. I want to see you smile. But no, that means I'll have to leave. No, that means I'll have to leave. Lately, I've been thinking I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. When the evening falls and I'm left there with my thoughts and the image of someone else was it's eating me up inside. But we ran our course, we pretended we're okay. Now if we jump together, at least we can swim far away from the wreck we made.
Come on.
And only for a minute, I want to change my mind. Cause this just don't feel right to me. I want to raise your spirits. I want to see you smile. But no, that means I'll have to leave. No, that means I'll have to leave. Lately, I've been thinking I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. So I'll go.
I want to see everybody's phone flashlights out right now.
I will go.
Everybody put your phones up right now. Put your phones up right now. Put them up. Everybody follow me like this.
Lately, I've been thinking I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. Even though I might not like this, I think that you'll be happier. I want you to be happier.
Let's go.
Then only for a minute, I want to change my mind. Cause this just don't feel right to me. I want to raise your spirits. I want to see you smile. No, that means I'll have to leave. No, that means I'll have to leave. Lately, I've been thinking I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. So
I just want to say thank you again to Fortnite, and good luck to all the players today competing. Have a good day. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Marshmello! I tell you, I've opened up for a few DJs in my career, by far the best one, hands down. Guys, this is incredible stuff here. I'm Golden Boy, your host, and this is the moment that we have been waiting for. 10 weeks have culminated to this point right here in New York City, Arthur Ashe Stadium, this packed house. Ladies and gentlemen, give yourselves a round of applause for being here with us today. Without you, this is not possible. But now it's all about these players up on this stage. And this right here, the trophy and the title of being the Fortnite World Champion. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. I want to get into these games as soon as possible, but I think we gotta ramp up the excitement just a little bit more.
no pain, no gain. no guts, no glory. I'm a one-man army, can't a one-man harm me. Ain't no weapon formed against me, and you already know the rest, so you know your best ain't gonna stress me. If you the best, I'm the next thing. You can do it too.
When you think about what's at stake here for these players, so much on the line. And we crowned 2 Fortnite World Champions yesterday, but that was duos competition. And today, these people are riding solo. And it's about that trophy, being able to raise this right in front of everyone here in New York City and walking away with $3 million in prizes. History will be made, lives will change. Now, I know that you guys want to hear from some of our players as well. And there's one player in particular that I think each and every person in this arena wants to hear from. Jordan, who do you got?
The legend, the man, the myth. Tfue! I want my vest back, by the way. Guys, standing next to me, I mean, you guys know him. He needs no introduction. He's pretty decent at the game of Fortnite. He's like fine, I guess. I don't know, 1v1 man creative. We'll see what happens, right? But knowing that you're as good as you are, right, and your skills, your gifts, your game sense, your speed, your dexterity, your precision, all of these things that I'm sure a lot of people are very fearful of, there are a lot of incredibly young, gifted talents that are up here on the stage right now from all over the world. How do you prepare for all of these different game styles?
Basically, how I prepare is just stream to all of my beautiful viewers, and you know, they stream snipe me, and I get rushed by like 30 people every game, so if I can handle that, then I can handle anything, right?
I have seen it happen in real time. It's insane. I don't know how you deal. I mean, you've got a long way, you know, to get to the end, but obviously vying for that #1 slot. How was your strategy working out going into your drop spot today? Your rotation, are you going to be flexible? What are your thought processes going into today, knowing that you're up against some of the best players in the world?
My drop spot's pretty good, you know. I have some people contest me, but I just lay them out and then move on from there.
Lay them out, move on. 350 pot, there it is, from the man himself. Back to you, GB.
Thank you once again, Jordan, for that. Now we're going to get into the games in a few moments here. Yesterday we hyped up nicely, and I think we can do it again. This is it. This is for this community right here, whether you're watching them at home, whether you're here with us in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, let me hear you. No. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, let us hear you loud and proud. This is the Fortnite World Cup Finals, and let's send it over to your casters for the first set of games. It's Courage and Dr. Lupo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals Solos competition kicks off today, and I could not be more excited. I'm still sweating from the marshmallow performance we just saw, but
absolutely,
Dr. Lupo, this is going to be a darn good time.
100 of the best solo players the world has ever seen in Fortnite are today playing for $15 million. And Jack, first place takes home $3 million, which is the largest individual prize for any player in esports ever up until this point. You realize that? That is ridiculous.
It's a pretty long history. Lives will be changed today, as we know. It's been happening throughout the weekend, and we've seen the best competitors in the world go up in creative, obviously